Okay, so I'm going to go ahead with the live lesson. Welcome you guys to lesson 2. As you are joining today, if you don't mind popping in the comments and let me know where you are from, where you're joining from in the world or in the US. And if you guys have not had a chance to go back and watch the first lesson, make sure that you do so. It is linked in my bio on Instagram, and also if you scroll down on Facebook, I've posted it, I reposted it yesterday, as well as it was posted last week when we recorded the lesson. So if you have any questions from the last lesson, go ahead and ask those. We'll be doing a quick review of the lesson from last week, and then we're going to dive into our lesson for this week. So for those of you who were here for the lesson last week, we talked about the notes on the piano, so we learned all of our notes. Remember that the musical alphabet goes from A to G. Speaking of notes, I'm trying to find mine. Here they are. So the musical alphabet goes from A to G, and then it repeats all the way up the keyboard. Now remember that your black notes, these ones up here, are named sharps and flats, and today when we go over scales, we'll kind of learn more about which letter name gets the black note. It depends on what scale you're playing. So if you've learned your sharps and flats and you've learned all of the keys on the keyboard, then you're ready to go for the lesson today. Okay, so we are going to dive right in. I'm going to move you guys around to where you can actually see the keyboard. Hey, you guys, welcome. Okay. I'm going to get you guys where you can see the whole keyboard. There we go. We're good on Facebook. Okay, I'm going to flip Instagram around. Give me just a second. Okay. Thank you guys also for sharing this live video with other people who may be interested. Okay, I'm actually going to swing you guys around. I'll get you righted in just a second. I just want to be able to see this video while I'm teaching the Instagram video. Okay. There you go. Okay, just making sure this is my right hand, left hand. Yeah, we're good. We're right. Okay. So the gardener is right outside my door, it sounds like. Today we're going to talk about building scales. Now, scales are one of the most important parts of learning to play. What key is he? The blower's in A flat, just in case you're wondering. It's getting louder. Okay, hold on. He's literally right outside my door. I cannot believe this. Okay, so I'm going to give him just a couple seconds to move away so you guys can actually hear me. So scales are one of the most important parts of learning to play, because if you've ever heard someone say, well, I'm going to sing this in the key of A flat, I'm going to sing this in the key of E flat, that is depending on what scale. You have to know your scales for that key. I'm really trying to give him a couple seconds to go away. I hope that's not super loud for you guys. Okay, so remember last week we talked about whole steps and half steps? You're going to need to know that this week for your scales. Here is the formula for a scale. It's whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half, and I'll show you what that looks like. You guys can screenshot that. Okay, so remember, a whole step has one note in between it, so it can look like this with one note in between, or like this with one note in between. And a half step has no notes in between, so from here to here is a half step, or from here to here is a half step because there's no note in between, right? So to build a scale, we'll start on our starting note. So whatever scale we're going to build, in this case, we're going to build an A scale. So we will start on A. I can't see. Oh yeah, I'm trying to see on Instagram if you guys can see that. So your starting note is not a step. Remember that. That's important when building your scales. Your starting note is not a step. So we'll use our starting note, which is A, and then from there we're going to use this formula. So we're going to go up a whole step, which is here because there's one note in between. A whole step, which is here because there's one note in between. A half step, which is here because there's no notes in between. Okay? A whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. Okay? So we'll do that again. We'll start on A. Whole step, half, whole, half. Okay, so the scale we just built was an A scale. Now, it's important also to know how to name these notes. So when you're building a scale, the next note is going to have the next letter name. So you know your alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, right? So if you start on A, this is A, B, we go a whole step to right here. What's our next letter name? We did A, B, so our next letter name is C. So we know we're going to call this a C. Remember from last week? Sharps go up a half step, so this is C sharp. Okay, then we're going to take a half step up to D, whole step up to E, whole step up to, we just said E, so A, B, C, D, E, F is the next letter name, so this would be F sharp, right? Then we do a whole step up to this note. The next letter name is G, so this would be G sharp, and then we take a half step up to A. Okay? All right, now let's try that again, but let's build it on C. Instagram, I'm going to move you guys just a little bit up. Let's see if I can get you guys this way. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to start on C right here. We're going to go a whole step up right here. So there's one note in between. Whole step, another whole step, a half step. There's no note in between. Whole, whole, whole step, and then this is a half step. Okay. So your starting note determines what key that you're in. So if you start on C, then you're in the key of C. If you start on A, then you're in the key of A. If you start on B flat, then you're in the key of B flat. So let's try building a B flat scale. We have B flat, go up a whole step to C, a whole step to D, half step, our next letter name is E, so this will be E flat, a whole step up to F, whole step up to G, a whole step up to A, and a half step up to B flat. Pretty easy, huh? Okay, so that's our B flat scale. Let's do another one. We'll start on E. So we're going to go a whole step up. So E, the next letter is F, so that would be F sharp. We go a whole step up to here, so the next letter name is G, so we'll call that G sharp. Half step, we're starting over with the musical alphabet, so that's A. A whole step up to B. A whole step up to C sharp. A whole step up to D sharp. And a half step up to E. So we start on E, that means we're in the key of E. Now, the reason that scales are so important is because this is how we learn to play songs. The foundation of that is knowing your scales. Okay? So, like I said before, if you start on the key of A and you build that scale, okay, that's what you need to know to play in the key of A. If you build a D scale, start on D and you build that scale, then that's the scale that you need to know in order to play in the key of D. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on A and I'm going to play all of the scales for you so you'll just have those for reference. So starting with A, we have A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. B flat would be B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G, A, B flat. B would be B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B. C would be C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. D flat would be D flat, E flat, F, G flat, A flat, B flat, C, D flat. D would be D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. E flat would be E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, C, D, E flat. E would be E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E. F would be F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. G flat would be G flat, A flat, B flat, C flat. Okay, make sure you call this note C flat, D flat, E flat, F, G flat. Now, why is this note called C flat and not B? Can anybody tell me in the comments? It's because, remember, when you're building scales, you have to go with the next letter name. So if this is G, A, B, then you can't have two B's in a major scale. Your next letter name would be C. So that's why we call this C flat. So the 4 of G flat, which we'll get into if you guys are familiar with numbers, you'll understand this. The 4 of G flat, the 4 chord, is not B, it's C flat, and that's important. So we'll come back around to that later. All right, the key of G, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Now this may seem a little boring and monotonous to you, but I promise you once we get these scales, we're going to take off like a rocket. So it's important for you to hone in and really stick with me on what I'm teaching you today. Okay, because I promise you this is the foundation of playing. If you don't get this lesson, you're probably going to be lost. So stick with me and make sure that you memorize your scales. Okay, A flat, B flat, C, D flat, E flat, F, G, A flat. A flat, B flat, C, D flat, E, F, G, A flat. Okay, your A scale is A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. Your B flat scale is B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G, A, B flat. Your B scale is B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B. Okay, so once again, I'm going to show you the formula for a scale. Make sure you guys screenshot this. Facebook, Instagram. Okay. You're going to want to remember this. Very important when you learn to play. Okay, and then I'm just going to give you a short little sneak peek of how this is going to be so beneficial to you. So when you're learning to play the piano, you're learning to play by ear specifically. One of the greatest tools that you can have in your tool belt is to play by number, because it takes all of these notes, all of these scales that I just went through, and it consolidates them into 7 numbers, 1 through 7, which makes it very simple. And I'll show you how that works really quick. So if I was going to do a song like, here I'm to worship, and we're going to do it in E flat. Here I am to worship, here I am to bow down, here I am to say that you're my God. Well, it's 1, 5, 6, 4. Altogether lovely, altogether worthy, 5, altogether 6, wonderful to me, 4. But say somebody was leading and they wanted to go up a half step. Okay, oh boy, here we go to E. So, here I am to worship, 1, here I am, 5, here I am, 6, 4, 1, 5, 6, 4. They want to go up again, F. Here I am to worship, 1. Here I am to bow, 5. Here I am, 6. You're my 4. 1, 5, 6, 4. Okay? So I hope that helps you understand why these skills are so important and why it's important to learn all these. So let's see. Instagram, I'm going to flip you guys around. I'm going to talk to you guys for just a second. Okay. Hold on, I'm coming back. I'm here. I got to do 2 strings. There we go. Okay, so what I want you to do, hey Jordan, what I want you guys to do for this week is to play through all of the scales that I taught you today. Yes, it's important to know A and E and B. You don't want to be afraid of the piano. That's like the worst thing. If piano is going to be your thing and you're going to learn to play, you really want to learn to play, the last thing you want to be is afraid of it. So make sure that you're learning all of the scales on the piano. You're eventually learning to play in all the keys. If you're a beginner, we'll get there. But this is your homework for this week. You need to memorize the formula for a scale. Whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. Memorize that. Write it out, print it out. Put it on your bathroom mirror. Say it in the morning when you're getting ready. Say it while you're brushing your teeth at night. And get that in your head. Remember that the note that you start on is not a step. You have to take a step from there. So if you're building an A scale, that's not a step. Play through all of your scales this week. Get familiar with them. Make sure that you are... numbers, yes, are important, but you also do have to know the keys on the piano. So as you're playing through and building your scales this week, make sure that you do know which notes you're playing. If you need to review this lesson to remind yourself which notes are which, do that, okay? So that's what you'll have to know next week when we meet again for the lesson. So our lesson next week will be again on Thursday at 11:30 Pacific time. I don't know if we're in Pacific Standard or Pacific Daylight. I can't keep up. Anyway, it's Pacific time. So if you guys have any questions from the lesson today, you can ask those of me right now. I don't see any questions popping up, but you can always reach me, DM, or private message me on Facebook, and I will be happy to answer those for you guys. I'm excited that you're using this time to learn. It's so encouraging to see you guys actually focusing on something other than the panic and the anxiety that's being spread all over the place. So I look at the epidemic this way, that we have been given the gift of time. And some of us are not driving to work. We're not leaving our houses like we used to be. We are at home. And how we are using this gift of time is important. So thank you guys for investing in yourselves. Thank you guys for sharing this with people who've always wanted to learn to play the piano. For some people, they could have come in contact with a teacher who tried to teach them piano and it was just too confusing. Or someone told them learning the piano was hard, which it's not. And they've always wanted to learn, but just had that little roadblock in the way that kept them from progressing forward. So thank you guys for encouraging others to learn and to use this opportunity to follow their dreams. I will see you guys next week. Don't forget, if you have any questions, let me know. Oh, thank you. I'm so happy you're doing this too. Grace and I will be in the next video. That's awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining, and I will see you guys later. Bye, everybody.